All right, welcome back. This is still the Polity. Let's see if we can reach out to our guest who's calling in from Bauchi State right now. We will be delving into the matter, like I said earlier, the issue of the ministerial appointments. Just a moment. All right, a number of ministries actually resumed. Yesterday we saw the FCT, who seems to have the most... Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Tijani. Can you hear me?
Good afternoon, Mr. Amadin.
All right.
I am fine. How is you?
Fine. And you?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. I'd just like to get your thoughts about what happened yesterday. I'd like to get your thoughts. The ministers have been sworn in. They've assumed office. What are your thoughts on the persons who emerged?
Person who we are... Yes, as I observed, the Federal Executive Council was inaugurated yesterday by President Aswati Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Yes, tell us your thoughts about it.
Well, our thought and expectations as Nigerians, we hope that as of yesterday, the ministers that we have been inaugurated, they should hit the ground running by violating the ideas of the ministries and also oversee the parastatals that they are saddled with in order to see that things are in line with the expectation and aspiration of the Nigerian populace. However, there are certain a lot of issues regarding what has gone on, what is going on in the ministry since the ministers were not being inaugurated, even though the president was in line with what is expected of Nigerians. Perhaps, or I am certain, he has not violated any rule. Some people were agitating that the president has not submitted the list as earlier on. Even though the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria has given the President 3 months to submit the list of his ministers, in my own opinion, we have seen the President has not violated any rule, except there are certain states that have issues, which, however, we expect that those issues will be resolved because the Constitution is explicitly clear that every state must have a representative in the Federal Executive Council cabinet.
All right. Let's talk about some of these portfolios.
Okay.
Let's start with the FCT. You know, I think that's one of the positions that has got the most buzz since yesterday, with the personality of the minister, talking about former Governor Nyesom Wike. Yes, he has made a number of pronouncements already that you know, he's going to go tough on people who break the rules or laws in Abuja.
Yes.
What are your expectations? What do you make of that appointment?
Well, the minister, it is all right as the leader and the representative of the people, while he is starting with the ideas to violate the ideas of the FCT. He has made a lot of pronouncements which has been trending all over the social media, and it has been a topic of discussion within the Nigerian populace. Well, to me, he has made nothing wrong. He has just set in motion that this is what he expects. You should not expect to be given land and without developing it. He has the power as a minister. If anybody violates any rules, especially those that we have been able to, those that we are currently erecting business premises and erecting buildings in green areas, he says that it should not be business as usual. As far as what the minister is trying to do is within the context of the law, he has not violated any rule. Then I will say his intended reality. Abuja has to become back to where it's supposed to be. The Abuja master plan should be respected and should come back to being, because people has been making the misuse of the city. Well, the city is the face of the country. Whoever comes from everywhere in the world, it is the Abuja FCT that we expect him to be. It is a place where residents or visit head of state of government. It is a place where the symbol of democracy, the symbol of Nigeria is. So we expect that there are supposed to be sanity within the city center. So we are happy that the minister has come on board, and he is someone that has a positive antecedent. When you look at his developmental stride in River State, he has made a lot of things. He has made rivers work. He has made a lot of infrastructural development in River State. We expect that as the minister of FCT, we hope that he will replicate what he did in Rivers, even though there is an issue of policy of us. I had that not reliability. Someone from the FCT was telling me that during the El-Rufai regime, he was collecting 2% of the allocation of the budget of the federal reform in Nigeria. That was why he was able to make all those infrastructures and make Abuja where it be. Then later on, when President Eradua came on board, that was in 2007, he said he has observed that 2% was unconstitutional. He decided to revoke it. This one I am telling you is I heard from someone that has been working, that is working with the FCA. I don't know. I am just trying to empathize with what he said. But Abuja has internal generation revenue. Abuja has a budget that is higher than certain states. So if that revenue can be utilized for the purpose of Abuja, not business and not people to siphon the money, we hope Abuja will look better. We hope city center will look conducively so that people that come to work, to do their work, and retired peacefully to their villages. I am one of the opinion, like now I am working in Abuja, even though I am calling somewhere far away. I hope that whenever I am in Abuja for a business, I come to do some certain things. Whenever I am done with what I am expected to do, I will go back to my village. It will not be a resident area of people, even though they are relatives of Abuja that we will find them there. We hope that the minister will look at their situation. They were saying that they were added to the sideline on so many aspects. They were added to the non-inclusion. The new minister will look at it. We'll look at it and sit down with every community that are residing within the city center and give everybody a sense of belonging. Let Nigerians understand that Abuja is for everybody. Abuja belongs to all Nigerians. Abuja is a city that has to develop. Whatever is expected of Abuja, let it be. The master plan of Abuja should be restored. The master plan of Abuja should replicate the line and aspiration of the people. The master plan of Abuja should be in line with the developed world. Let it be a replicate, let it be a symbol of unity, be a replicate of the city all over the world that we are looking at as a symbol of national unity. Let Abuja look better. We hope that the minister has made the pronouncement that he will start work today. Since he was inaugurated yesterday, today in the morning, and he has also made pronouncement that he is not a minister that just sign papers and sit down. He went around. We have seen that in what he did in Rivers State.
Right.
He has been all over the state, looking at what is going on. We hope he will maintain the tempo. We hope, but we are calling on him. Let him don't be carried away by power.
All right, Mr. Tajudeen.
Try to deviate from what the Constitution allows him. The Constitution has given him power, and that power has limits. Let not go beyond that power. Let whatever he will do, he should respect the rule of law. He should respect the rule of law. He should respect the sanctity of the Constitution. He should not go outside the Constitution. He should always try to be guided by the counsel of the rule of law and look at humanity. Look whatever the decision he will make, let him make all the decisions that will be for the benefit of the city center and the people of Abuja, and in a whole the decision that will be in the best interest of the country.
All right, Mr. Tajudeen, you already touched on what I was going to ask, which is the issue of rule of law. Sometimes when you can be a bit overzealous with something, you tend to not get the law as part of it. But that being said, I'd like to get your thoughts on what are the standouts for you. What ministerial appointments have you seen that you believe will go a very long way in achieving the president's design and his agenda for the country? Which ones stand out for you?
Hello.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. What did you say?
All right, I'll take it again. I was asking, what are the standouts? What are the very, will I say, memorable appointments here for you? Which of the ministers do you think their work will go a long way in achieving the president's goals?
As in, the minister should...
Which ministers stand out for you? Which ones are you looking forward to the most?
Let me not be biased, even though a little bit biased. I am looking at the minister from my state, Bauchi State, in the person of Professor Ali Pati. He is a technocrat, he is a statesman on his own right, and he is a bicycle. We know his contribution in the world. We know he is respected all over the world. He is invited to come and give his own quota for the development of our country. We know from his antecedents he is a good man. He has impeccable character, which he has been a minister of health, even though it was minister of state for health. And now he is saddled with the big responsibility. He is the head of the Ministry of Health. So we want to see that what changes will he bring in our health sector. There are issues presently on ground that our primary health care centers are in comatose. Our primary health care centers are dilapidated all over the country. We want him from inception, let him understand that we have a very versatile responsibility. He has a long way to go. He has so many challenges on ground that he needs to address in earnest. Nigerians are looking forward to see that. What will he do differently from his predecessors? What will he do to make life easy for Nigerians? The issue of our country, our countrymen taking our resources outside the country, India, America, to treat ordinary diseases. We want our healthcare system to be functional in such a way that we don't expect to be a tourism. Our people will, our leaders taking our money outside. We have seen the former president how he is going always all over the world, always going to England to treat his own ailment. We want it in such a way that let the party know from the one, whatever happens, let it be so within the cornerstone of our country. Let it be within our country. Let Nigeria be a destination all over the world so that people will come in from all over the world to come to our hospital. We want our hospitals that are being dilapidated, they are in comatose, to be restructured, and let from his leadership, let's be a good sign so that people will be, Nigeria will be envy of other countries. Let our teaching hospitals in all the universities that we have, let it function well. Let our expertise not be running away. We have issues at hand that our doctors are going to other places because of poor remuneration. Let him look at the welfare of his workers. Let's look at the welfare of the healthcare personnel. Let it be in tandem with reality. We have inflation all over the country. Let him come and see. As he comes, let him see what can he do to change the narrative. Instead of our people to going outside, let other people be emptying, coming to Nigeria, give their own quota. Let our people, let be the enabling environment. Let our doctors be well structured in such a way that they are a conducive environment for their work to be effective. Let's have a good healthcare system from different angle, different perspective. There are complaints of their remuneration is good. It was recently the resident doctor has called off their strike. Let him address that issue. Let them not go to strike during the tenure again. Let him observe what are the problems, what are the insecurities that are been disturbing these resident doctors that are always agitating to go on strike. Let him look at it. The environment should be conducive. Their welfare should be well funded so that at least we have what is expected in the healthcare system.
All right, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, that's fair enough. And Professor Pate is a renowned veteran personality from the health sector. So we could say that's a round peg in a round hole, or a square peg in a square hole.
Certainly, it is a round peg in a round hole.
Yes, but there are concerns that some other portfolios don't have such issues. For instance, we have the aviation sector. It is now being headed by Festus Keyamo, a senior advocate of Nigeria. We have Betta Edu, who is a doctor, so to speak. Yes, she's under humanitarian. And just yesterday, it might interest you to know that the Minister of State of Environment, while giving his speech while taking office, he admitted that he knows little about environment. He said he's also a public health, I believe, official expert. So the question is, but just a moment, Mr. Tijani, just a moment. So the question is, what about these positions where we seems to have square pegs in round holes? What's to become of the nation?
What are the advisor ministers? They are the heads. They are the one who will study the affairs of the appointed ministries. They are the heads. It is administrative aspect. What are the advisors? They should try and appoint competent advisors, competent heads, so that they will guide them in what they will do. There are directors, there are permanent secretaries in some of the ministries and some of the parastatals. Even though I expect that they are supposed to be outside people, let him consult with his predecessors. What are they? Let him research. And let those that he will appoint as his aide. We do not expect a minister to be their own, to be solidly making any decision. It is a teamwork. That is why the president give them prerogative to have the ministry. As the president, you are not expecting the president to be in the Ministry of Defense, to be in the Ministry of Aviation. No. The president has appointed ministers so that they will help him achieve his goal, what his aim and objective, what he is trying to achieve to Nigeria, what parameter, what has he said, what leadership is he trying to lead for the country to be better. We hope that as he comes, the president will lead this country better than how he met it. So we expect those ministers to appoint competent aides for them to help them to take care of the affairs of their respective ministries and respective parastatals. So there is no issue of appointing someone that has little experience in certain ministries. From day one when you are, you have responsibility. You know you have staff. Looking at their antecedents, they have respective portfolios what they have. It is not someone that is not known. They are all known. They are antecedents. They went to school. At least when you went to school, you are expected to take care of multi-task. So those multi-tasks are expected that wherever you find yourself, whatever challenges, you can be able to overcome it. So you have an excuse that you have little knowledge in certain ministries or that should not be. That is not called for. We Nigerians cannot condemn it. We are after results. We only need to see results. And let the results, let it be positive results so that the country will be better.
All right, it's interesting because the last Minister for Education, Mr. Adamu, was one of those who admitted similar. And, at some point he was said, although some people take the quote out of context, that he felt he failed in his mission to do what he wanted. But that aside, you mentioned security. I'd like to get your thoughts on the ministers that are in that region, which is the Ministry of Defense. we have former governors there, former governors.
Former governors at the head
Yes.
of security, minister of
Yes. How much confidence do you have in that appointment?
Well, I am confident that Badaru and Matawale, Badaru of former governor of Jigawa State, as he governs Jigawa State, while Matawale governs Zamfara State, even though when you look at our security architecture of the whole country, we have problem of insecurity all over the country. All the things the opposition don't have there is the issue of security. As I said earlier, these ministers are people of impeccable character, most of them. We expect that when you are appointed in such a ministry, look at the problem that we are having in the Northwest. We have issue of particularly wrestling. We expect that this minister that came from this region, even though their portfolio, their position is all to maintain their affairs, to administer the Ministry of Defense, which is all over the country. But let them be consulting. They are the chief security officers of their respective states. So when they were when they are governors of their state, they are allegations, we are honest that they are just mere photocopies here. They cannot make decisions in terms of security. So now, God has a way of repairing where I can say catching them. Now God has given their portfolios to be ministers of defense. So now they are the head of defense. So they should look at it. If before they were complaining that they were just mere tools, that they are chief security officers of their state, now they have the responsibility to make command.
All right, that's an interesting that's an interesting perspective there.
Yes, I can hear you.
I said that's an interesting perspective. Talking about their complaints as governors, and now the opportunity they have to wield more power and fix issues. That being said, what do you think the relationship between the Ministry of Defense and the office of Madam Novo Ribadu will collaborate in the mission?
It was El-Rufai that was complaining that on the issue of Analyst that they are just mere head chief security officers without giving any command. But what I said earlier, I am still with the opinion that with appointing competent people to advise them on issues of security. We have the head of security, we have the chief of defense staff, chief of army staff, we have the national security advisor, which he is from police. Has police. So, but the ministers, what I call on them, let's be at the synergy within the security apparatus. Because without synergy, you cannot achieve anything. The problem we have, there are interrivalry between our security agencies. You will see that in broad daylight, fighting within the security apparatus, it was unfortunate. We hope that this should be a thing of the past. We hope that it should not repeat itself this time around. Let it not be business as usual. Let there be silence between the security apparatus. They have a responsibility to mind the security of this country. They have a responsibility to guard the territorial integrity of our nation. So let them try to the best of their ability, have synergy within the security apparatus, with synergy, with share of information within the security apparatus. Let not be rivalry. Let it be a synergy so that the main objective, which is to the nation, let not be defeated. Let them all bring the only behind the aftermath. See that this country is scared so that people can travel without fear, people can travel from Maiduguri without fear of intimidation, without fear of any kidnappers, without fear of any agitators, without fear of anything. Let those that are following our very well-tracked system, Abuja to Kaduna, let there be peace of mind that we don't have anybody to attack us. Even though there is issue of security issue from the DSS that there are certain bad elements in the country that are trying to attack the railway system. They have given in fact, the DSS have given their own information to the security agencies that there should be more. So let's not allow terrorists to take our security agencies for granted. Let's not allow these terrorists to change the way of the Nigerian people. Let the security agencies apprehend. We do not expect them to repel attacks. We want them to track those also to follow Ahmed that are trying to permit trouble in the country, to track them from within their airplanes so that they will be dealt with and brought to book so that they will suffer detriment to others. Let this country be stressed. The purpose of government is to separate the security of life and properties of the individual. If Nigerians have a responsibility to play in helping the security agencies too.
Alright, Mr. Tajudeen, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Alright, so I'd like to get your thoughts now on how you think the president should, work with his ministers. Take for instance, the Ministry of Petroleum Resources. We have 2 ministers of state for that ministry, one for gas, one for oil, and it is assumed that the actual ministerial position will be something retained for the president, President Tinubus, just as we saw in former President Muhammadu Buhari's tenure. I'd like to get your thoughts as to how you think the president should relate. Some persons are saying that President Tinubus might be a micromanager where he would be fully involved and giving all the directions to each minister personally, while others have the mindset that it should be something where he allows these ministers their independence to do what they want without too much supervision. I'd like to get your thoughts as to how you think this could go, taking into account the body language of some of these ministers yesterday. We saw a couple of ministers kneeling, we saw them bowing. I know it might seem as though it's regular respect for the president, but some might also say that they went a bit overboard to go all the way to kneel, as being that they are ministers in their own rights. So do you expect that we'll be seeing micromanagement, or they'll be allowed to have their own imprint on their portfolios?
Well, if you look at the petroleum industry as a whole, it's something that is very complex. It is not a free fight. If you look at the petroleum industry, it's a complex ministry that has a lot of issues. And it is the major part of the Nigerian income. The Nigeria is a minor economy, I can say. Even we are trying also to do the previous administration is trying to see that and diversify in such a way that we do not depend solely on crude oil. We are trying to shift ground so that to see that this country has a lot of revenue, has a lot of ways of generating revenue so that things will not be difficult when we are born in the crude oil in the international market. Even 2 ministers in the petroleum ministry, I can say the president has made a right decision. Listen at how the council, the petroleum ministry is, and we don't know. The president has not yet appointed himself. We expect our thoughts that it will be like the same what is the president was the health minister of the petrol is the big minister. Then the minister will say, now we have 2 ministers of state. Nigerians will be wondering, what is happening? What is the president trying to do? Division of the possibility. If any minister has his own responsibility, we have a lot of started under the petroleum ministry. We have now teams, we have so many, all countries of them, they are there. So, like education, we have the minister of education, the first minister of education, the minister of education,
All right. All right. I think we're losing you there, Mr. Tajudeen. We can't quite hear you anymore. Hello. All right. Thank you so much. We can't quite hear you anymore, but it's been great having you. Thanks for calling in despite your travels. Thank you so much for being on the program.